morning students. So today we are going to prepare Cl2 in the laboratory. So this is called as laboratory method. Here the chemicals which we are required are NaCl. NaCl is what? Sodium chloride. NaCl is sodium chloride. So that is reacted with MnO2. So what is MnO2? Manganese. Manganese dioxide. Okay students. So we are reacting sodium chloride with the manganese dioxide in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. In the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. Now what you will get? So what you are going to get? You get sodium bisulfate. Sodium bisulfate. Sodium bisulfate plus MnCl2. This is manganese. AC का है कम हो गया. Manganese chloride plus Cl2. This is our main product, that is chlorine, plus you will get some water molecules also. Okay. So what is the statement? Sodium chloride. Statement I am writing here. When a mixture of sodium chloride. So sodium chloride I am just writing as SOD, sodium. I am not writing the complete spelling. Sodium chloride, then manganese dioxide and concentrated. The concentration of sulfuric acid is concentrated sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is heated. Okay. So when you are heating a mixture of sodium chloride, manganese dioxide and concentrated sulfuric acid, so what you are going to get? You will be getting Cl2. Okay. So this is the statement, this is the reaction. So what is the reaction? NaCl reacts with the manganese dioxide. Simple sa statement hai. So here since we are heating, we can keep the symbol. We can keep the symbol delta because we are heating the reactants. So NaCl, we are taking NaCl, manganese dioxide and sulfuric acid. What sulfuric acid we are taking? We are taking concentrated sulfuric acid. Now, so what are the products you are going to get? Sodium bisulfate, manganese chloride, Cl2 plus water. So what is your major product? This is your major product. So here this method we are employing to prepare Cl2. Other products are formed, but the yield of the Cl2 will be more. So therefore this is the laboratory method for preparation of Cl2. So what are the reactants? NaCl, manganese dioxide, H2SO4. Students, please copy down this statement as well as the equation. Okay. So this is for 2 marks. Total it is for 2 marks. Your statement is for 1 mark and reaction is for 1 mark. Sometimes you may get only 2 marks. The complete 2 marks will be for the equation only they may give. Okay. So balance this 4 NaCl. So 4 NaHSO4. This leda. Okay. We do with this one. This one. కనిపించట్లేదా? అచ్చా this one. Okay. So 4 NaCl. So this is 4 NaHSO4. Okay. Then 4 H2SO4. Try to balance this. So how many moles of water? 4 2s are 8 hydrogens are there. Already 8 hydrogens, 4 hydrogens are here. So you are left with the 4 hydrogens. So it will be 2H2. The next, chemical properties. Chemical properties of Cl2. First one, it will react with the iron Fe. Okay. So Fe reacts with Cl2 to give FeCl3. Fe reacts with Cl2 to give FeCl3. What is Fe? Iron. Okay. Iron plus matlab reacts. Simple सा statement बनाना है students. Reacts with Cl2 means what? Chlorine to give FeCl3. So this is ferric chloride. Okay. So Cl2 reacts with Fe to give ferric chloride. This is the first reaction. Fe, chlorine reacts with Fe to give FeCl3. The next, Fe reacts. The next, Cl2 reacts with concentrated NaOH. Cl2 reacts with the NaOH. So the concentration of NaOH is concentrated we are taking. So this is concentrated sodium hydroxide. NaOH is what? Sodium hydroxide. Okay. So this will give rise to NaCl, sodium chloride plus NaClO3. So this is sodium chlorate. Okay. So when Cl2 is reacting with the concentrated NaOH, it will give sodium chloride, sodium chlorate. What else you will get, students? You will get water. So this is, what is the concentration of NaOH here? It is the concentrated sodium hydroxide. So when chlorine is reacting with the concentrated NaOH, when chlorine is reacting with the concentrated NaOH, it is giving sodium chloride plus sodium chlorate. This is the important product, students. Please write on this. Imbalance this 3Cl2. 6 sodium hydroxide. So this is 5 NaCl, 5 plus 1, 6. Chlorine, 3 to the 6, 5 chlorines here, 1 chlorine here, 6. Then oxygen, 6 5 oxygens, here 3, so more 3 here. So hydrogens 6, 3 to the 6. So this equation is balanced. Copy on this. Next reaction. This is the third reaction. Cl2 oxidizes. Cl2 oxidizes acidified, means in the presence of acid. Acidified ferrous sulfate. Acidified ferrous sulfate to ferric sulfate. To ferric sulfate. Equation Cl2 plus ferrous sulfate is FeSO4. So this is ferrous sulfate. Okay, acidified means in the presence of acid. So that is sulfuric acid we are going to take. So this is sulfuric acid. So you will get this ferrous sulfate is getting oxidized to ferric sulfate. So what is ferric sulfate? Fe2SO4 taken 3 times. Okay, so we know that iron shows 2 oxidation state. Fe shows 2 oxidation state, +2 state and +3 state. +2 state is called as ferrous, +3 is called as ferric. So here, so in ferrous sulfate, Fe is in +2 oxidation state, whereas here it is +3 oxidation state. So how we are getting that formula? Fe is +2, SO4 is what? This is +3, this is +2, -2. This is -2. So plus minus gets cancelled, exchange the charges. So you will get Fe2SO4 taken 3 times. Similarly here, Fe is in +2 oxidation state, sulfate, this is ferrous sulfate, so this is -2. So +2 -2 gets cancelled, this is the formula of the compound. Okay students. So iron shows 2 oxidation state, ferrous and ferric. Ferrous is +2 oxidation state, ferric is +3 oxidation state. Now apart from this, what else you will get? Chlorine we are having here. So you get HCl. HCl. So how many chlorines are there? So 2 chlorines. Okay. So Cl2, it oxidizes ferrous sulfate to ferric sulfate. So here the reaction is carried out in the presence of medium. This is the medium. Okay, because ferrous is getting converted into ferric, means from to whom it is donating its electrons, the iron is donating its electrons, to whom it is donating, to Cl2. So transfer of electrons requires a medium. So that is the reason here this acidic medium is taken. So what is the role of sulfuric acid here? It is acting as medium for transfer of electrons from Fe to Cl2, because it is a redox reaction. Okay, copy down fast. The next, fourth reaction, Cl2 iodine with water gives rise to HiO3. Okay, so HiO3 is the hydroiodic acid plus, so chlorine here. What is the oxidation state of iodine here? Oxidation state of iodine. So this is I2. So this is 2x is equals to 0. X is equals to 0 by any number is 0. So oxidation state is 0. In hydroiodic acid, what is the oxidation state of iodine? Now here, what is the medium we are taking? Water. So in the presence of water, chlorine reacts with iodine in the presence of water. In the presence of water to give hydrogen. iodic acid. To give hydroiodic acid. Copy down this. So 10HCl means this is 5H2. Okay. So chlorine reacts with iodine in the presence of water to give hydroiodic acid. This is the fourth reaction. The next, Cl2 reacts with hydrogen sulfide. Hydrogen sulfide to precipitate sulfur. Now, what is sulfide ion? So yesterday also I discussed you, sulfur forms 3 anions, S minus 2, this is sulfide, SO3 minus 2, this is sulfite, then SO4 minus 2, this is sulfate. So sulfide means S minus. So Cl2 reacts with H2S to liberate sulfur plus HCl. So 2 moles of HCl. So chlorine reacts with hydrogen sulfide to precipitate sulfur. So what is sulfide ion? S minus 2 is the sulfide ion. So Cl2 is reacting with the H2S and liberating sulfur plus hydrochloric acid is given out. Next reaction, Cl2 reacts with sodium thiosulfate to give sulfur. Okay, Cl2 reacts with sodium thiosulfate to give sulfur. S2 plus Na2 S2O3 gives rise to sodium sulfate Na2SO4 plus HCl plus sulfur. So this is sodium sulfate. So this is sodium thiosulfate. Okay. So Cl2 reacts with sodium thiosulfate to give sulfur. So here this reaction we requires water molecules. Okay. So chlorine reacts with sodium thiosulfate. Na2S2O3 is called as sodium thiosulfate to liberate sulfur. This is our major product. Right. I will just recall. First one is the preparation of chlorine in the laboratory. So how chlorine is prepared? When sodium chloride, manganese dioxide is heated in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, you will get sodium sulfate, MnCl2 and Cl2. So this is the preparation of chlorine. So this is for 2 marks. Okay. The next, chemical properties. So chemical properties of Cl2. Cl2 reacts with the iron to give ferric chloride. FeCl3 is called as ferric chloride. The next, Cl2 reacts with the concentrated sodium hydroxide to give sodium chloride and sodium chlorate. This is the major product. The next, Cl2 oxidizes acidified ferrous sulfate to ferric sulfate. So what is ferrous sulfate? FeSO4 is a ferrous sulfate. Fe2SO4 taken thrice is the ferric sulfate. So this is ferric sulfate. As I told you, iron shows 2 oxidation state, plus 2 oxidation state is called as ferrous. Ferrous plus 3 state is called as ferric. Then chlorine reacts with the iodine in the presence of water to give hydroiodic acid. So this is the hydroiodic acid. Okay. The next, chlorine reacts with the hydrogen sulfide to precipitate sulfur. So Cl2 plus H2S, H2S is the hydrogen sulfide. This is hydrogen sulfide. As I told you, sulfur forms 3 anions, sulfide S minus 2, sulfide SO3 minus 2, sulfate SO4 minus 2. So here this is sulfide, hydrogen sulfide. Cl2 reacts with hydrogen sulfide to give sulfur and HCl. In the last reaction, Cl2 reacts with the sodium thiosulfate to give sulfur. So these are the various chemical properties of chlorine. So this whole answer is for 8 marks. Okay, but in the exam you don't get all the reactions. They will ask any 3 to 4 reactions because it is only 8 marks question. 2 marks already are given for the preparation. So left how many marks? 6 marks. So for 6 marks they may give 3 reactions or they may give 4 reactions, not complete all the reactions. Okay. The next, very important VSAQ. What happens when Cl2 reacts with dry slaked lime? Write down the question. What happens? Very important. What happens when Cl2 reacts with the dry slaked lime? So what is slaked lime? Slaked lime is calcium hydroxide. So calcium hydroxide reacts with Cl2 to give CaOCl2, okay, plus water. So what happens when, very important 2 marks question from this 17th group elements. What happens when Cl2 reacts with the dry slaked lime? So this is the slaked lime. This is slaked lime. What is the chemical name? Or this is the common name, slaked lime. What is the chemical name? Calcium hydroxide. Slaked lime is calcium hydroxide. In what condition you are taking? You are taking in the dry condition. There should not be any water molecules. So when this dry slaked lime, this Cl2 gas is passed through dry slaked lime, you will get CaOCl2, which is nothing but bleaching powder. This is bleaching powder. Very important 2 marks question. Copy down fast. What happens when Cl2 reacts with dry slaked lime? So what is the statement? Cl2 reacts with dry slaked lime to give bleaching powder. Statement you can write. Cl2 reacts with dry slaked lime to give bleaching powder. Okay students, then next VSAQ from the same chapter. What happens when Cl2 when F2 and Cl2 reacts with water? What happens when F2 and Cl2 reacts with water? F2 plus 2H2O gives rise to HF plus O2. Then F2 plus 3H2O gives rise to HF plus O3. So this is hydrogen fluoride. hydrogen fluoride. This is oxygen. Oxygen, or you can say dioxygen also. So this is ozone. Okay. Now the statement you have to make common statement. So fluorine reacts with water to give a mixture of oxygen and ozone. F2 reacts with water to give a mixture of HF is common, HF, O2 and O3. Statement अलग अलग लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Common statement you can write for both the reactions. So 2 fluorines. So F2, 2HF. Okay, copy down. Here it is 3F2. So if you are writing this, so what you will get? So 2 2s are 4. So 4 hydrogens. 3 2s are 6. So 6HF. Okay. So what happens? This is also important reaction. First important reaction is reaction of Cl2 with the dry slake lime. That is the first level important VSAQ from this chapter. And second important question is what happens when F2 and Cl2 reacts with the water. So we have written with the F2, then we'll write with the Cl2. Cl2 reacts with water to give HCl plus HOCl. So this is hypochlorous acid. Okay. Cl2 reacts with water to give HCl and hypochlorous acid. This is also. So for fluorine you are having 2 reactions, whereas for fluorine 2 reactions are there. For chlorine only 1 reaction is there. You will get hypochlorous acid plus hydrochloric acid. So if this reaction is balanced, 2 chlorines are here, 1 plus 1, 2. 2 hydrogens, 1 plus 1, 1 oxygen. So what happens when fluorine and chlorine reacts with water? Fluorine reacts with water to give a mixture of hydrogen fluoride, oxygen and ozone. See, simple trick. If you want to get oxygen O2, you can take 2 molecules of H2O. If you are getting the number of moles of one reactant, you can balance the other reactant. So when you are getting ozone, here 3 moles of H2O. In that way, you can remember your number of moles. So simple trick. So यहाँ पे oxygen मिल रहा है. So how many moles of H2O? 2 moles of H2O. यहाँ पे ozone मिल रहा है. Ozone is 3. So 3 moles of H2O. In that way you can remember your reaction. Okay. कैसे भी करके हम लोगों को remember करके exam में reproduce करना है. Okay. So whatever it is. So for other people it may look funny, but हम लोगों के लिए we are trying to write in the exam, that is important. Okay. So यहाँ पे H2O आ रहा है. Right. How many moles? H2O. 2 moles of H2O means oxygen. O2. 3 moles of H2O means ozone. So reaction with the chlorine, it reacts with the chlorine to give hydrochloric acid and hypochlorous acid. This is what? Hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid. Okay students, copy down fast. So these are the important VSAQs. Once again we'll just see the VSAQs. So first VSAQ being what happens when Cl2, this is very important students. आप अभी by heart कर लो क्योंकि already 3-4 times I am repeating the same answer. So Cl2 reacts with dry slaked lime. Cl2 reacts with dry slaked lime to give what? Bleaching powder. To give bleaching powder. 3-4 times memorize कर लो अभी आ जाता answer. Okay. So Cl2 reacts with dry slaked lime to give bleaching powder. Right? The next, what is dry slaked lime? Calcium hydroxide is dry slaked lime. So Cl2. So this is calcium hydroxide. The chemical name of citrulline is the calcium hydroxide. Dry लिखना जरूरी है students, यहाँ पे water molecules नहीं रहना चाहिए. So this is the bleaching powder, CaOCl2. 5 times memorize कर लो, CaOCl2, CaOCl2. You will get it. Okay, nothing is impossible. Next. The next reaction of F2 and Cl2 with water. So F2 reacts with water to give a mixture of HF, O2 and O3. So O2 के लिए 2H2O molecules, O3 के लिए 3H2O molecules. Then fluorine reacts Cl2 reacts with the chlorine to give HCl and hypochlorous acid. HOCl is the hypochlorous acid. Cl2 reacts with the water to give hydrogen chloride and hypochlorous acid. So these are the two important VSAQs from 17th group elements. The next we are going to see the important SAQ from 17th group element. Okay. The next, explain the formation. Explain the formation of BrF5, bromine pentafluoride. Explain the formation of BrF5, bromine pentafluoride. Okay. Now, in bromine pentafluoride, BrF5, this bromine is called as central atom. Is called as central atom. Bromine को क्या बोलते हैं? It is called as central atom. Now, the fluorines, they are called as surrounding atoms. They are called as surrounding atoms. Now, आप लोगों को कैसे डिसाइड करना है कि कौन सा सेंट्रल एटम है कि कौन सा सराउंडिंग एटम है? जो एटम लो इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव है, दोनों में से जो एटम लेस इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव है, द एटम which is less electronegative, that will form the central atom. जो हाई इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव है, that will form the surrounding atoms. We know that when you look at this belongs to 17th group: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. These are the elements of 17th group. So when you look at the electronegativity values, they decreases down the group. Electronegativity values, they decreases down the group. That means bromine is less electronegative. Bromine is less electronegative than fluorine. Okay? So कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करना है? कभी कोई मॉलिक्यूल दिया गया, उसमें सेंट्रल एटम कैसे आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है? The one which is having less electronegativity, that will be the central atom. Okay students? The next. Now here these are the 17th group elements. So what is their outer electronic configuration? NS2 NP5. 17th group or 7th group मतलब 7 valence electrons होना. They should contain 7 valence electrons, right? So NS2 NP5. 7 valence electrons. When you come to bromine, so bromine का ground state configuration जो है 4s2 4p5. Ground state configuration क्या है? 4s2 4p5. Now here bromine is forming a molecule with the fluoride ions. It is forming molecules matlab it is forming bonds. The bromine is forming the bonds. So कैसा bonds form करते? With the orbitals. The orbitals of the bromine, they overlap with the orbitals of fluorine. Right? Now bromine के पास so कौन से orbitals will give the form bonds? The orbitals which are unpaired orbitals will form the bonds. But here if you look at this, how many unpaired orbitals are there in bromine? Okay, so this is 2 electrons, so 3 suborbitals, p orbital मतलब 1 2 3 4 5. एक ही अनपेड ऑर्बिटल है, लेकिन ब्रोमीन कितने फ्लोरीन्स के साथ बॉन्ड फॉर्म करना चाह रहा? 5 फ्लोरीन्स के साथ, मतलब ब्रोमीन शुड हैव 5 अनपेड ऑर्बिटल्स. ब्रोमीन शुड हैव 5 अनपेड ऑर्बिटल्स, 5 अनपेड ऑर्बिटल्स. बट यहाँ पे तो एक ही अनपेड ऑर्बिटल है, तो और 4 अनपेड ऑर्बिटल्स को प्रोवाइड करना है. कैसा फॉर्म करेंगे? सो व्हेन यू सप्लाई एनर्जी, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एक्साइटेशन. सो एक्साइटेड स्टेट कॉन्फिगरेशन क्या होगा? सो दिस इज 4s2, ओके, 4p4, देन 4d1. तो यहाँ पे कितने ऑर्बिटल्स फॉर्म हुए? यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी एक था, सो यहाँ पे एक हो गया 2, फिर यहाँ पे एक, 3 ऑर्बिटल्स हो गए. बट हाउ मेनी यू वांट? You want 5 orbitals. Is it not, students? Okay. तो और एक configuration, और एक excitation, second excitation, excitation 2. This is 1, this is 2. So 4s2, 4p3, 4d2. So यहाँ पे 3 unpaired orbitals है और यहाँ पे 2 unpaired orbitals है. हम लोगों की requirement कितनी थी? 5 unpaired orbitals की थी. सो यहाँ पे कितने ऑर्बिटल्स फॉर्म हो गए? 5 अनपेड ऑर्बिटल्स फॉर्म हो गए. सो ये पूरा आपको ये आप छोड़ सकते हो. ES1 सिर्फ कॉन्फ़िगरेशन लिखना, देन ES2. आई विल शो यू हाउ टू राइट इन द आंसर. ज्यादा लंबा करने की जरूरत नहीं है, आंसर को आप सिंपल वे में भी लिख सकते हो. सो इसका कॉन्फ़िगरेशन इस बॉक्स फॉर्म में लिखो. सो दीज आर द 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. So these are the 5 electrons. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is ground state configuration. Then excited state 1. Configuration क्या है? 4s2, 4p4, 4d1 है. तो इसका बॉक्सेस लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. If you want to write, you can write. Okay? आप लिखना चाह रहे तो लिख सकते हो. अदरवाइज कॉन्फ़िगरेशन लिख के भी छोड़ सकते हैं. ओके, देन ES2. ES2 क्या है? 4s2, 4p3, 4d2. So this is paired electrons and the remaining are unpaired electrons. So 1, 2. Okay, so we know that the central atom has to undergo hybridization. क्योंकि यहाँ पे no doubt these are unpaired orbitals. पहला कंडीशन तो satisfy हो गया कि ब्रोमीन के पास 5 unpaired orbitals होना जरूरी है. Now उसके बाद जो है, जो भी ऑर्बिटल्स बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन में इन्वॉल्व होते हैं, उन लोगों की पूरों की एनर्जी सेम रहना चाहिए. Okay, they should be equivalent orbitals. So in order to make them equivalent orbitals, they should undergo hybridization. So 1 s orbital, 3 p orbitals plus 2 d orbitals, they undergo sp3 d2 hybridization. They undergo sp3 d2 hybridization, right? How many orbitals? Now each one is called as sp3 d2. Now each orbital is called as sp3 d2, क्योंकि अभी पूरों का एनर्जी सेम हो गया, हम लोग हाइब्रिडाइजेशन में इसको पार्टिसिपेट करें. सो दिस इज sp3 d2. Each orbital is called as sp3 d2. No, this one. Okay. So these are the hybridized orbitals. Total how many orbitals are formed? So total 6 sp3 d2 hybridized orbitals are formed. Now out of 6, so these 4 are 1 2 3 4 5. 5 are containing the single electron, whereas the one orbital is containing lone pair. Okay, so the one orbital is containing the lone pair. So one lone pair is there and remaining 5 bond pairs are there. Now this 5 sp3d2 hybridized, sp3d2 hybridized unpaired orbitals overlaps axially with pz of 5 f atoms and forms 5 sp3d2 pz sigma bonds and forms 5 sp3d2 sigma bonds. Okay. Now here you have got one lone pair of electron. Okay. Now here when hybridization is according to Vesper theory, when hybridization is sp3d2, the geometry should be octahedral. The geometry should be octahedral. यहाँ पे condition क्या है? No lone pair. When there is no lone pair, when hybridization is sp3d2, then the geometry should be octahedral. Okay. Now, लेकिन जब यहाँ पे देखा गया, आपको यहाँ पे एक lone pair of electron है, no doubt. एक कंडीशन तो सेटिस्फाई हो गया कि अनपेड ऑर्बिटल्स है, लेकिन यहाँ पे एक लोन पेयर इलेक्ट्रॉन है. So expected geometry मतलब shape. Expected geometry is octahedral. Octahedral का दूसरा नाम क्या है? Square bipyramidal. But due to repulsions, जब लोन पेयर रहते, लोन पेयर जो है बॉन्ड पेयर्स के साथ रिपल्शन करता, बट ड्यू टू रिपल्शन बिटवीन लोन पेयर एंड बॉन्ड पेयर, द geometry changes to distorted octahedral. The geometry changes to distorted octahedral. Okay. This carries 1 mark, students. लोन पेयर आप कहीं पे भी डाल सकते हो, no issue. So this is one fluorine atom, this is one fluorine atom, this is one, this is one, this is one. Okay. यहाँ पे एक lone pair of electrons है और बीच में क्या है? You are having bromine atom. So this is the shape of the molecule, distorted octahedral. Okay. So please copy down this. Very simple सा आंसर है boy students. Already आप लोग फर्स्ट ईयर में बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल्स करे, सो PCl5 करे, आप SF6 करे, अगर वो बेसिक्स याद है आपको, इजिली यू कैन राइट. आपको क्या लिखना है? फर्स्ट, द सेंट्रल एटम इन BrFi इज ब्रोमीन. द ग्राउंड स्टेट कॉन्फिगरेशन ऑफ ब्रोमीन इज 4s2 4p5. In order to provide 5 unpaired orbitals, bromine undergoes 2 excitations, ES1 configuration 4s2 4p4 4d1, then ES2 configuration 4s2 4p3 4d2. Okay, so now 1 s orbital, 3 p orbital, 2 d orbitals undergo sp3d2 hybridization and gives 6 sp3d2 hybridized orbitals. Now 5 sp3d2 out of 6, 1 sp3d2 contains lone pair of electrons. 5 sp3d2 hybridized unpaired orbitals overlaps axially with pz of 5 f atoms and forms 5 sp3d2 pz sigma bonds. Expected geometry is octahedral. दूसरा नाम octahedral का क्या है? Square bipyramidal. But due to repulsions, so between lone pair bond pair, geometry changes to distorted octahedral or square pyramidal. Or square pyramidal. Don't write distorted octahedral. Write square pyramidal. Okay, it will be sufficient. The geometry is distorted or square pyramidal. Okay, now अगर किसी बच्चे को लग रहा है कि आंसर लंबा है, I will tell you how to write the short form answer so that at least you can get 3 marks out of 4 marks. Okay students, the next here short form answer, central atom Br in Br Fi, ground state configuration 4s2 4p5, right? Excited state ES1 4s2 4p4 4d1, excited state configuration 2 4s2 4p3 4d2. इसका बॉक्स फॉर्म लिखो. जो बच्चे लंबा आंसर नहीं पढ़ सकते हो, यू कैन गो विद दिस. देन हाइब्रिडाइजेशन, हाइब्रिडाइजेशन क्या है? हाइब्रिडाइजेशन sp3d2. देन द नेक्स्ट क्या है? ओवरलैपिंग. ओवरलैपिंग क्या है? 5sp3d2 overlaps, overlaps with C bar मतलब with students, overlaps with pz of 5f atoms to give 5sp3d2 sigma bonds. Okay, the next 1sp3d2 contains 1sp3d2 contains lone pair. Okay, the next geometry, geometry क्या है? distorted square pyramidal, distorted square pyramidal. Okay, then उसका डायग्राम डाल दो. For drawing this diagram, you will get 1 mark, students. Okay, don't think this is a small diagram, you don't have marks. No, you have marks for this diagram also. Okay, आप इतना लिखे तो भी at least you will get 3 marks out of 4. जो बच्चे word to word sentences form नहीं कर सकते हो, you can write down in this form also. Please copy down this. So with this, I am winding up the class. Copy down this.